We have Chef Chris Wade back in Tanzania. You know him. He was in the program a few months ago giving us that gourmet Australian food being introduced in African countries, and we are happy to be part of the tour of the gourmet Australian dishes in Africa.
If you don't break your principles, all the creativity can get put on top of that. But we sort of, start with good produce, follow the right steps, and the right seasonings, and the right heat, the right cuts, and all them principles are really important to have a great result.
So when we talk of a steak, what's the best part of you?
Oh look, obviously I think one of the best things about beef is how opinionated it is, and which cut you like and how you like it cooked and how you like it aged. Or I really feel that we're coming to Africa now for the beef awakening, to really show everyone the quality of the beef that Australia has. And
check out on our latest recipes on the show this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. on your favorite channel, Capital TV.
News tonight. Parliament allowed to begin debating political parties bill. In Uganda, President Museveni disregards call for more judges. And in sports, TFF information officer to become information officer for Champions League. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The government has informed the House that it can begin debating and passing the bill to amend the law of political parties, which is intended to enable the registrar of political parties to coordinate and oversee the way in which these parties are run, so that peace, calm and democracy can be maintained within political parties. The Minister of State in the Prime Minister's Office for Policy and Parliamentary Affairs, Jenisa Mhagama, said that under the amended law, political parties are supposed to reveal the source of their funding and also present audited statistics to the Registrar of Political Parties. As they were presenting the opinions of the House Committee for Constitutional and Legal Affairs, Mohammed Mchengera said that the process of amending the law is intended to prevent the illegal funding of parties from foreign sources, to prevent political parties from having their own security groups, and lastly to ensure that university students are not involved in politics.
22 is meant to correct Section 13 on law governing political parties so as to pull together income sources of a political party from inside the country. On sources of income, it's supposed to be a transparency. This is to allow the political party registrar to audit political parties' income and expenditure. There's still a need to make sure that political parties work well and promote peace and unity of our people, but also to promote democracy in the country. To achieve this, a system that monitors political parties is essential. It is important for the minister to explain this section well, whether political parties are not allowed to have someone to control party activities of their own choice.
Merely one day after the Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court had released the former Director General of the National Identification Authority, NIDA, Mr. Dickson Maimu, and his 5 co-accused individuals, Today, all of them have been sent back to the same court in order to face up to 100 charges of economic sabotage. Among these, numerous charges are money laundering and causing NIDA to suffer a loss. All of suspects, such as Mr. Dixon Maimu, who is the prime suspect in this case, listened to a long charge sheet of 100 alleged charges are being read to them before the resident magistrate Salum Ali in this new financial case of number 7 of 2019. The state prosecutors Donald Swai and Simon Wakia read the charges to the suspects, and these included cheating their employer, using various means to engage in swindling and acquiring money through deceptive methods with NIDA's underwriting assistance. Other charges include misuse of office, money laundering, which is against the law of money laundering number 12 of 2006 and causing NIDA a loss. The suspects were, however, not required to respond at that court due to the fact that the court had no jurisdiction to listen to the case of economic sabotage. Now, the defense, Stanley Mwalimu, asked the court to provide bail to two accused, number 2 and number 6, whose charges do not involve offences that have with this others who are facing economic sabotage, money laundering charges as well. Now, the case has been adjourned to February 12, 2019, and all accused were returned to jail. Now, moving on, President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, has prohibited some district commissioners who have been placing people in jail with no valid reasons and instead told them to use wisdom instead of force. President Magufuli said this in State House in Dar es Salaam when swearing in High Court and Referral Court judges. President Magufuli also directed the newly sworn-in judges to recognize that they are reflection of the society. Thus, they must be a good example.
Kwa hiyo ndugu zangu majaji, mimi nawapongeza, mna jukumu kubwa la kuangalia haki.
I congratulate you on your appointment. You have a lot of work ahead of you. You must put God first and must apply the law and the constitution of the country in carrying out your duties. We have faith in you, and God is the one who has appointed you. You must serve your position with utmost loyalty for the people led by you.
Wanaoongozwa na ninyi.
Lakini kuna jambo kubwa sana linakera kule, unyanyasaji wa kijinsia.
I know that there are judges present, but this oath also concerns you, District Commissioner, that you will perform your duties according to laws and common practices, but those that are not suitable, then work to deal away with. Those that are good, you must uphold them.
Sasa zile mila na desturi mbovu, tafadhali zifanyie kazi, ziondoke, zile nzuri baki nazo.
Bado upo umuhimu wa nyongeza za majaji, na ikiwezekana
there is a need to increase the number of judges. We must reach a point in Tanzania where there is at least 100,000 to 150,000 judges. There is a need for more judges because people now are more aware of their rights. Hence the increase in number of those who file cases in court.
Wanafahamu haki zao, wanakuja mahakamani, kwa hiyo mashauri yanazidi kuongezeka.
2 people have died on the spot and 5 others seriously injured after 2 lorries with plate numbers JA4417 and T661DKS got into head-on collision and then caught on fire at around 5 a.m. in Makunganya in Mvomero district. Confirming the accident, Morogoro Police Commissioner, Assistant Police Commissioner Wilbert Mutafungwa said that investigations are still ongoing to determine the cause of the accident.
We try to rescue the people trapped in the wreckage, and some have been taken to the hospital. What seems to have happened here is that one of the drivers fell asleep and move to the opposite lane at night, where the road is well marked. A driver perished in the fire. I don't think the driver was overspeeding. I think he was driving at 60 to 70 kilometers per hour. There was a motorcycle coming from the opposite side, so when he tried to avoid hitting the motorcyclist, that's when he crashed. It was about 5 a.m. at Makungaja, where a vehicle with registration number JA4417 carrying a large container had a head-on collision with another vehicle with registration number T661DKS carrying some drilling equipment. This caused a big explosion which burnt both vehicles. There has been 2 fatalities. Today, Morogoro Referral Hospital received 5 road accident victims. Both who are receiving treatment are male and 1 fatality. The injured have suffered head injuries, but no one has had serious injuries.
Some farmers of Kilambo village in Tangazo Ward Mtwara region have asked the government to help to stop hippopotamus from River Ruvu who destroy their harvests such as rice and maize, as well as endanger their lives when they are engaged in agricultural activities or attending to their family needs.
Wao ikishafikia kuanzia saa 12 mpaka kufikia usiku wote.
From 6 p.m. they come out of the water and invade the farms, causing so much damage. Small-scale farmers cannot defend ourselves.
Hatuna ila tunabaki tunakulalamika tu kwa kila siku.
This is causing a lot of damage. We are discouraged. The animals came so close to our homes.
Swala la boko limetufikia.
A couple of days ago, a game warden came, but they did not come out of the water. Although this area is within our reserve and we do get income from tourists coming in, there is a need for the warden to come back again.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has directed the Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender, Elderly and Children, as well as the President's Office, Regional Administration and Local Government to sit together to review the current format in the social welfare sector to determine if there is a need to make legal changes so as to create effective and productivity in the sector, to avoid intersection of responsibilities.
Malengo ya serikali ni kupata ufanisi katika kila sekta.
The aim of the government is to increase efficiency in every sector. Social security sector is faced with many challenges. Yes, the law in place is also lacking in some aspects. If to deal with such challenges there is a need for changes to be made in existing laws, then please present a motion in Parliament. It is good that the chair is present today. He will see that the changes needed in social services sector are approved swiftly in Parliament so as to bring efficiency in how the social services sector operates.
Kwa lengo la kuleta ufanisi wa utendaji kwenye ustawi wa jamii hapa nchini.
Hivi karibuni kumekuwa na ongezeko kubwa sana.
Recently there has been an increase in the number of orphanages. Luckily, there are those who are honest, but some are not. We've received reports on some of the orphans being used to beg in the streets. There are those who use orphans for prostitution, and there are those who use orphanages as slave centers.
Lakini wengine wanatumia kama ni sehemu ya kuwakusanyia watoto kwa ajili ya biashara ya utumwa.
Tuna kazi kubwa sana ya kufanya.
We have a lot of work ahead of us. We are the ones to bring changes. If we see there is a large number of school dropouts, this concerns us. If we hear more students are falling pregnant, this concerns us too.
Ni kazi ya kazi yenu ndugu zangu.
Ofisi ya Rais TAMISEMI kwa kipindi kirefu imekuwa ikisimamia.
TAMISEMI for a long time has been directing municipal councils to give preference to people with disability through the 10% loans derived from revenue collected.
Tanzania's Tropical Pesticides Institute, TPRI, has conducted a surprise inspection at an auction in Ntalamila village in Kasi district of Ruvuma region and discovered the illegal sale of pesticides that are used for agriculture and livestock, which were stored out in the sun, which is against procedures.
When pesticide is exposed in a lot of sun, it weakens to an extent that when a farmer uses the pesticide, he doesn't get the desired results. I think globalization is to blame. Anyone can now come up with a product and sell it in the market without being qualified.
Na anafanikiwa na wewe pia ukienda pale unachukua unakwenda kutumia kwenda kodi ngumu rahisi kwenda kudhibiti wadudu shambani.
Ask them to follow advice and guidelines given and must also be registered, but more education must be imparted.
Dar es Salaam Regional Commissioner Paul Makonda has directed district and ward leaders to ensure they oversee their areas and coordinate cleaning exercises as well as pay all claims contractors have so that trash that is destroying the face of Dar es Salaam can be collected on time.
Unaenda manispa pale mnakaa mbona mjadili ya mambo mkayamaliza?
I would like to point out that some top officials in some wards have prevented residents from finding an effective way to collect garbage in their areas. However, it is crucial that I quickly mention that the reason that such officials are doing so is in order to restore the old system of refuse disposal, which basically is take the residents' money and in return do absolutely nothing. With regards to Kinondoni, I would like to note that the top officials there have been deliberately working to ensure that the whole exercise of garbage disposal is unsuccessful.
And that is the end of national news. International news follows shortly after the break. And in international news tonight, President Yoweri Museveni of Uganda has disregarded the request from the judiciary for more judges to be employed so as to reduce blockade cases in the courts of Uganda.
So therefore, for me, I would rather than increase...
I don't see the reason why I should increase the number of judges. Well, we cannot afford them. It is best that we deal with the ones who are in office right now so as to reduce the costs.
The prison's leadership in Rwanda has prohibited relatives of prisoners in various prisons in the country from visiting them to prevent the spread of measles, which has been mentioned to be spreading in the prisons.
Our prisoners are living in good conditions. We provide them with enough food and are allowed to be visited by their loved ones. But these days there is a problem of chickenpox in our prisons. Following the disease, we have not permitted prisoners to meet with their families and friends for the disease not to spread.
Residents of the constant conflict area in Beni Mavivi have complained on lack of hospital and treatment due to shutdown of health centers being shut due to attacks.
We want our leaders to fight for us women. We are suffering here. The hospital has been closed. There are no health services here because of the war. If you have a patient, you must have money to save them. We don't have a hospital and heard that the health attendants have run away, and what will happen now to some of us? There is no security. Health workers have not been paid for almost 4 months now, and we don't have enough facilities to even help women in labor.
And that is the end of international news. Business news follows next after the break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The Minister of Finance and Planning, Dr. Philip Mpango, has urged financial institutions in the country to focus more on providing loans and savings education to citizens, including those living in villages, so that they can benefit from the services and can grow their capital and invest in productive projects.
There are some intellectual people who are still scared of saving their money at banks and even scared of taking loans. You might be surprised for a person like me who has gone to school, but still I'm scared of taking out a loan. This is because there's no proper plan as to what the money should be used on and how it can be paid back. Nifanye 1, 2, 3 kwa ajili ya maendeleo ya familia yangu na kadhalika.
Dar es Salaam Commercial Bank has succeeded in gaining 1.9 billion shillings in profit for the 2018 year. The profit was a result of improvements of their business operations system and introduction of a new digital service, leading to drop in operations costs.
65 billion shillings has been issued on loans. Last year, 21 billion shillings was allocated for small-scale entrepreneurs. We have increased efficiency at our administrative department by providing services through digital platforms, and that has made us perform well. We have provided good rates for our pensioners by issuing them with interest rates every month and not giving them once a year.
As the government continues to emphasize investment in processing factories for cassava harvest, as well as finding markets for them outside the country, buyers inside the country have been told to stop buying the crop at a price that causes a loss to the farmers.
Our farmers should have a little bit of knowledge before undergoing farming activities. For example, in farming cassava, for what purposes are you planting the crop for? Is it for cooking ugali at home, or is it to sell? I believe from farmers' demands, then a rightful kind of seed that is needed is the one should be planted for a short period of time. With such kind of investors, we will collaborate with TIC to make sure that they come to invest here. My fear is that our efforts might cause the country to face scarcity of cassava, because there shall be bigger demands for the crop from bigger markets. After the awareness of Chinese market for cassava, every farmer opted to farm cassava. They even took loan out to farm the crop for commercial purposes.
And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows shortly.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Céline Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip, hop, a hip, the hip, hip, hop, you don't stop the rockin' to the bang, bang, boogie, say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette.
With Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
Welcome back, and in sports news tonight, the Football Federation general meeting is scheduled to take place in February in Arusha, with the Federation Information Officer being selected to be the CAF Information Officer for the Champions League match between Mamelodi Sundown and ASEC Mimosa.
In the meeting, there will also be an election aimed at filling the board members' positions for Simiyu and Shinyanga. So there will be those issues, and everything is proceeding well. The meeting will take place at the Nara Spring Hotel.
Simba Sports Club held their last training today before heading to Egypt at 5 p.m. where they will play their Champions League game against Al Ahly on Saturday.
We did not perform well in our last Champions League game. Not only there, but also in Sport Pesa. Our results were not good, and we could not make our fans happy. Generally, Tanzanians are depending on us since we are the only representatives in international competitions. Players are aware of that, and I believe they will fight till the end to make sure we get good results so that we can revive the trust of our fans.
The Professional Boxing Regulatory Committee has banned a former boxer Idi Bonge from attending any fight in the country after he caused chaos in the fight between Waziri Rosta and Mbena Rajab.
Hatua ya kwanza tunayoifanya ni kumsimamisha.
The first step is to ban the former boxer Idi Bonge not to be involved and not to be seen in any professional boxing events in Tanzania. We will supervise this issue because we know him. We also tell the promoters of professional boxing we will present his still pictures and videos since we have both.
Tutawasilisha picha yake kwao kwa sababu ipo picha ya video na ipo picha ya kawaida.
Defending champions Chelsea will host 12-time winners Manchester United in the 5th round of the FA Cup in a repeat of last year's final. Here's more on the story.
League 2 side Newport County could host Premier League champions Manchester City if they overcome Middlesbrough in the replay. League 1 side Doncaster Rovers will be hoping to create an upset after they were drawn at home to Crystal Palace. The 5th round ties will take place between 15th and 18th of February.
The New Orleans Pelicans plan to listen to offers on all NBA center Anthony Davis, but won't make a deal before next Thursday NBA trade deadline unless they are offered an overwhelming package for the franchise star. Here are more details.
Lakers president Magic Johnson and general manager Rob Pelinka are planning to make an aggressive push to acquire Davis prior to the February 7 trade deadline. Armed with confidence that Davis wants to play for the Lakers and would sign an extension, league sources said. The Lakers are expected to talk with the Pelicans soon, league sources said. After agent Rich Paul of Clutch Sports told ESPN on Monday that he had informed the Pelicans that Davis wouldn't sign an extension this summer and wanted a trade, multiple league sources expect the agent and star to soon deliver word throughout the league that Davis' preferred destination is the Lakers and he'll become a rental player until 2020 with a trade anywhere else.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Capitaltvtz. Thank you for watching and good night.